Hey guys, hey Dale, Whole Shop Performance with my Super Crew Chief Cooper, Super Cooper, down boy. Anyway, this is a little surprise. I think we're going to have a little fun today, and it's November 19th, 2023. Hope you're having a good Sunday. We're in Northern Nevada. This is our home, secret hallway, and we got a sunny day. It's still only about 45 degrees outside, but we got something we're going to do, and after this the weather's not going to be good enough. It's going to get real cold, so well, let me show you. Alright, let's take a little walk. Personal privacy here, huh? Some of you may know I've been moving. We're moving our entire life, shop and everything. This is my big oversized garage, and it was full, and now it's empty. We're working our tail off. Anyway, let's go down here to the other end. And what's this place? Huh. Must be where some old guy makes his fishing poles or something like that, or I don't know. Basket weaving? I'm not sure. Oh, let's look in here. Oh, I see something. Ah, yeah. Yeah, baby. Today's the day. Yeah. That's Mr. Gray, the Flying Brick. The brand new 2023 ZH2. All stock. So, today is the day, hopefully. We're going to get our base poles. This is my custom home dyno room. Well, it's across from my shop. And there I am. I was once fast. And what else we got here? Yeah, it's a good dyno room. The walls are extra thick, double insulated. Got a squirrel cage fan out into a tractor shed. It sucks my exhaust out. But anyway, so what we're going to do today is, like I say, the base poles on this thing. If you've watched other videos like Brock or Chris Moore and so on, they're very restricted, but it is what it is. So we're going to start with the stock muffler and see what we get out of it. And I'll probably just put it in the rider full mode, turn the traction control off. I do have an OBD2 and this proper cable to clear codes if it causes any problems, hopefully. So, and then after the stock pulls, we're going to reinstall the beautiful Scorpion slip-on from the UK. They were very nice. I got a mid-pipe and it came damaged with the crease in it. It wasn't their fault. And they air freighted me a brand new one, which was really nice. Okay, after we get the pulls from this, all stock, then we're only going to, today, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to install the high performance sprint filter, the P08 F1-85. That's the one that breathes probably more than this thing pushes through the air box. Yeah, they're expensive, but I've seen 3 or 4 horsepower, so I think it's worth it. So let's, I'm going to get set up. It's going to take me a while. You won't see any of that, but I've got to get this thing, the pickup unit into, read the RPM, which is buried on this side. I should be able to get in that one coil right here, but I got to cut the harness a little bit and try to get to the wire. That's all normal stuff. The air filter, luckily on these, you take this cover, all this part off, and there's a little slot in here where the air filter slides right in here. You don't have to pull the tank. It still takes an hour or something, but a lot easier. So anyway, I'll be back when I get this thing started up and do some warm-ups. So I'll see you soon. Alright guys, I just warmed up the bike. This is how I have my screen set up. Anyway, we're never getting there, but I set it at 13,000 red line. This thing falls off stock at about 11, but we'll probably rev it to the rev limiter and let it scream, and you'll hear it. Or after 11, it's just kind of there. But anyway, I got that, and I just started it up, and we have the RPM matching, firing order's correct. went through, and here's where I'm set at. Rider mode, power full, traction control, clear off. That's the one that absolutely, I still couldn't keep the front down at all at the drag strip. I had it on traction control 1, but we don't want to restrict it in any way, even though it's very restricted anyway. And it's probably flashing, whatever, nothing you can do about it. Once the ABS, you get the speed up, it's going to throw the ABS code and flash the dash, but I'll just leave it alone the rest of the day, reading, clearing it till we're done. So I'm going to warm it up more, and hopefully we get a clean RPM reading. Sometimes they go berserk from interference or whatever. It's a real pain in the ass finding the one, or getting a hold of the proper pulsing wire on the number 1 coil. But I seem to got it. I got it. So let's get started. I'll warm it up, then we'll do a first series of pulls. One more note. Here's what the dyno's telling me. It's 63 degrees in here, 14% humidity, 15%, 25.8 is the pressure. I like using my one up here. I always use this one, and I have in the room here. It's just, I feel more accurate than the dyno being all hot underneath and everything, so I just go by this one. So I've had the heaters on all morning. I don't know what time it is now. Well, there it is, right there, ding dong. Yeah, I figured it was about 12:31. So that's what we got. Almost 67 degrees, 13% humidity. So that should be pretty good. So that's it. Okay, let's do some 3 first pulls. It's going to be just warm-up pulls, but I've already warmed up the bike. Let's see if it holds the RPM properly. We're going to use 5th gear all day. Again, rider full, traction control off. Keep in mind we're at 4,450 feet here. So, and also, the dyno is probably going to work its way up to about 75 degrees, hopefully. These things, from what I've seen on Brock's dyno, blah, 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 with no changes at all, bring the bike back. If it's 10 degrees difference or 5, it can be 12 horsepower different on this supercharger motor. So this is what it is. Let's get started. We'll do 3 pulls. I'll do about a 10-12 minute cool down. I'll show you the charts after we pull them, or do them, and then we'll go back 10 or 12 minutes, make the breathe machine count. Okay? Alright, here we go. hissing vacuum cleaner, is it? Well, it ran really clean though, and luckily the dyno is clean. It's putting out clean RPM readings. Sometimes you have a big problem, you have to try to figure it out. So I think we're going to be good on that, which is a big plus. So let me grab the camera and I'll show you those 3 first warm-up passes. All right, there's the first 3 runs ever. 5th gear, traction control off, full power. So yeah, number 1, if you can see it there, is 164.93. Number 2, 165.86. Number 2 and 3 is usually the best pulls, but it just depends. You got to remember this thing's sucking in the air from the front left intake. And anyway, 163.84 on the 3rd one, because there's a lot of heat around the motor and stuff. So like I said, you got to remember we're at 4,500 feet here. I think those numbers are going to go up maybe a couple. All right. Let me see here. Change it to, there's your RPM. So as you can see right here, this is 10 grand. Let me zoom back out again. Yeah, see on the bottom here, it's 10 grand. So right at 10 grand, it's making like peak power on all 3, and then it just holds it over there because the throttle blades are shutting off. Even here, it's never getting full percent. If you look at some of Chris Moore's with the Woolridge program and Brock, and this thing is really restricted. It makes, you know, between 80 and 95 or so at the most throttle opening for just a little bit, probably right in here. And then by 11, it just shuts them down. I mean, it's boo, and here's where it finally gets to the rev limiter. I don't need to do that anymore. I can let off at 12 grand just to do it way before the rev limiter. It's not doing anything. So anyway, it just flattens out. Okay, so let me, here's the torque. Put the torque up. So here's your torque. On the first pull, 88.60. Second pull, 87.98. And the last pull, 86.46. So yeah, I got to remember these motors are still a smaller engine, 1,000 cc. They still out of rev, and it's a progressive, you know, boost on these things. I think they make around 13 to 14 pounds stock, the gears in the supercharger. So, you know, you're not making boost, it ramps up, you know. But yeah, so these motors, they don't really make a lot of torque. Even fully unrestricted, best I've seen is around 100, 101 or something. But these numbers go way up. So, okay, it's been about 13 minutes. I'm going to go reset up the camera, and I'm going to make 3 more pulls. And this time I'll leave it here and show you the screen making the pulls. Okay, since you saw it running, you see what it sounds like. Okay, let's get started. Okay, also keep in mind, we don't have the air field reading now. You can't put it in a stock muffler, so it's all blocked off. We'll do that once the slip-on's on. But here's the RPM. I gotta check that, that's wrong. Lost its memory. And here's the speed. Okay, let me shut this off. I'm gonna fix this, see what happened. I had it set at 12,000, 13,000. right, guys, sorry about this. We have an inductive pickup problem. Hopefully I got it fixed now. The plug over there barely gets into the wires. I had to turn the harness back a little bit, and I think it opened up. So we'll know on the next run. But when it does that, I lose my configuration, RPM setting, everything. So that's why we got number 1 and 2. It has to start over. We'll see if the next one does the same thing. Hopefully not. We can continue. But anyway, yeah, we're going to. We got a little pickup there, pretty good. So almost 170, 169, 90.48 foot-pounds. Second run, 167.42, 89. So that's kind of where I thought this thing was going to be. You know, I've seen the bone stock bikes make anywhere from 165 to 179. It depends on the dyno room, the elevation, the temperature, everything. So I was thinking 170, 172 maybe at the best or something like that. But I'm going to do 3 more pulls just to see if we've got the dyno sorted out. I'll leave it on the screen here, and hopefully it doesn't break up. We'll see. All right, it fell off again, but that's because I had to wait so long, probably. Right now it's 144. Yeah, I let it sit for about 15 minutes. You didn't see me messing around with the bike, 20 minutes. But luckily it looks like the pickup wire is it. At least we know now if it breaks up I can fix it. I see no breaks in any of them. So the first pull was 168.94, 89. And then it started falling off, 165 and then 164. Okay, so yeah, and if you remember, let me just remove number 4 and number 5. Okay, and then we'll put in run 1. Let me see here, 1 and 2. Okay, from, you know, the last pulls. So yeah, that's probably all I'm going to get out of it. I'm going to let it sit exactly 10 minutes and just do 2 more pulls. Let's just verify it. Hopefully the pickup wire is all okay now. It was kind of tugging on it a little bit. So let me do that. We'll do it one more time, and that'll be it for stock. we got the file working right and everything, if nothing else goes wrong. Anyway, yeah, finally we broke 170. I thought that would happen. I thought that's about what it was going to make. And it also broke the 89, so it made a 170.44 and 90.21 foot-pounds of torque. And then it only fell off a little bit on the second pull. The last was 168, and then before that the best was 169. So we broke 170. That's all it's going to do in here. That's the time now. I let it sit about 9 minutes and did the 2 pulls. So now we have 73 degrees and 10%. Just about what motors like in here is in the 70s, sometimes even 80s, but I got to let the room cool down, get some fresh air in here. I put on my wall air and just blow air through here so it's got fresh air and open the door. So, okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to move forward. It's getting late already, but I'm going to go. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to install the Scorpion slip-on and let it rip. I'll be back. Okay guys, got the Scorpion Red Power slip-on installed. No other changes, still completely stock bike. So it's been about 40 minutes, so we're going to go through the whole ritual again. Make 3 pulls, shut it off, let it cool, maybe do 3 sessions, get the best session. So anyway, here's the first one. I got air fuel on, hopefully all the readings work. So far so good. Now it's saving it and everything. Just sometimes that's how it goes. So let's get started. So it's now 77.7 degrees in here, 10% humidity. Humidity's holding even, temperature's going up. Anyway, so there's the very first pulls, 171, 73, 90.60. That's number 8. Number 9, 172.05, 89.97. And the third pull, 169.38, 89.45. So it's only a couple more horsepower, but it's more consistent. You know, they're not far apart. I'm sure these things are really finicky. If I let it cool down, I ended that run at 237. So we'll go for 10 minutes or so, maybe 250, 251. I'll make 3 more. So right now, real quick, let's go ahead and split the screen. I haven't even looked at the air fuel yet. but it appeared to be about 12.8 or so. Let's see here. Air fuel. I got my camera right where my mouse has got to go. Oh yeah, see? Yeah, no wonder these things. They got this thing to be so safe. Okay, the red line's 13 to 1. Up here you can't pay attention. I started about 2200 RPM. The throttle's not on yet, so it's coming out of the lean cruise low load, you know, lean. Once it gets a load on it, it's pretty darn good, about 13 to 1. And then, boom, about 9800, boy, it goes rich. Real rich. 10 to 11, that's also probably because the throttle blades are all shutting off. And then from 11 on, it's just pig fat. It's like 11 to 1. Here's 10 to 1. So that's all the Thingery Flash will take care of. You already know the story, but that's not today. This is just stock for stock, what we can get out of this thing. So I'm going to let it cool off. I'll be back, and this time I'll put the camera on the monitor. When I'm waiting for the cool down, let me just show you some stuff here real quick. So see, I run SAE smoothing all the way on 5. Okay, that's the industry standard, and also 5 is just the smoothest and readable. You can cheat. You can go down a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit, and then extreme. I've seen dyno runs like this, and you know, but look what it does to the number. Yeah, it made more power. Yeah, sure. I never cheat. Okay, it doesn't do any good when you're a tuner cheating. So all the way up to 5 is what I'm at. Okay, and then a lot of guys think it makes a lot more power in standard. You know, I'll show you them all. That's SAE we're running today. Here's uncorrected. See how much lower it is? 147 to 145. And then we don't use any of these are all weirdo ones. We'll go to standard. A lot of people think they make a lot more power in standard mode. Okay, there's the numbers. All right, it's not even a horsepower difference, maybe a half a horsepower or tenths on the end. So there's standard in this dyno room today, uncorrected. Here is SAE. Okay, see the numbers? SAE and standard. So it makes hardly any difference. So I stick with SAE fully smoothed on 5. I thought I'd share that with you. All right, second session. It's about 10 minutes. Cool down. Now you're going to get to see the air fuel over here. All right, RPM and mile per hour. I'm letting off at about 12,400 or so on the tack. Usually the tack's 500 RPM different than the real number. So let's do it. I'm going to turn on all the fans and air fuel. So, what I do to keep the room constant, I got my little wall air conditioner over there. I turn it on cold. I open the back door and the outside door. Okay, and now we're at a good working dyno room. I like to keep it between 76 to 81 degrees if possible. Once I get the fresh air out in here and cool it down, then I'll shut the doors and then just stabilize. Meanwhile, I have all the fans, it's 2 little ones on low, just to cool the motor down just a touch, and then I'll turn those off so we still got good heat soak and everything. So anyway, there you go. You can see that. I think you can. Boy, that thing sounds good, doesn't it? Really nice. All right, so 172.78, 9109, number 12, 173.30, 90.11, and then the third, 171.02, 89.58. That's probably the best it's going to make. Like I say, usually the second pull is the best one. So anyway, so yeah, let me look at the air fuel real quick again. Gotta let the thing cool down. It was 1252, now it's 1259. I mean, excuse me, 259. Let's go ahead and add the air fuel so you can see that. I just got to put this split screen. And thank God the dyno now, that's how it goes. It's just a pain in the ass sometimes. You see air fuel. Yeah, and you watched it on the right. Starts out real lean because it's just in the cruising mode with light throttle. You know, 14.7, whatever, and then it has to recover and get a load on it, and then boom, it's pretty darn good. Then this is where all the butterflies start shutting down and blah, 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 and then they probably throw a bunch more fuel at it from the factory too. Look at that. Jesus Christ, 10.5 to 1 at 12 grand. So, I mean, you can safely run this thing 11.5 to 1. Yeah, they don't have an intercooler. From what I've learned, I think they have a little more compression than the H2, but they have smaller injectors. They don't pump as much fuel, so you got to be real careful. There are guys that go out and do speed runs and all that, so boy, you got to make sure you don't put more timing in it and blah blah blah. And here you got to remember, we only have 91 octane here. I'm running on 91 octane. That's all I'll use. You know, and you got to remember about these numbers. I am at 4,500 feet. So I think that's pretty good, but we'll let it cool off. We'll do one more session, and then we'll hopefully get the best number, or that one there might be the best one, and then we'll park it, and I will disassemble the bike, put the air filter in it, Sprint filter. All right, that's next. Was in there. See, this is the difference between a lot of guys that have a dyno and they just whip out the numbers, you know. You got to know your dyno room, and you got to know how to control it. and keep everything consistent. So yeah, we got it at about, it was like 76 degrees. Right now it's 75.7. It's 9% humidity. So anyway, with the proper cool down and everything, it repeated, and it made some power. So I'm impressed with that for here. I know it makes its own air. It's an air pump, but still. It made, I'll show you in a second here, but that's going to be it for the slip-on. It made 175.59, pull 14. That was the first one of this session. 92.68 foot-pounds, and then I'm looking at the screen. 174.87, 91.06, and then 173.15, 89.70. So 175.59. That's pretty damn good for here, from what I've seen. So also, like I say, 91 octane, 4,500 feet, and what was I going to tell you too? Oh, about the slip-on. So that's pretty decent. You know, we made the very best of 170 on one pull with the stock muffler, and so we're making, you know, 5.5 to 6 horsepower with the Scorpion red power slip-on. It's really a quality piece, and the guy I talked to over there is named Martin that runs the sales. He's just fantastic, really nice guy. So anyway, and that removed about 8 pounds. It was about 8.5 pounds lighter than the stock muffler. So that's a good savings right there. Weight is power. Okay, let me show you the pulls. Just gonna move it. It's probably jumping all over. There we go. Yeah. So there you go. You know, they still fall off at the same place. It still goes pig fat up on top, but there they are right there. Let me zoom in a little bit. There. That's pretty good. I've seen anywhere from 165 to 178 with these things, and that's at sea level. But boy, you got to have everything just right. You know, it makes a huge difference. I can tell when the thing starts coming on. It sounds healthier. You know, they're real touchy, these bikes. So okay, so now it's going to take me probably an hour to change the air filter. I'm going to pull it all apart, and I'm going to have to go through the whole ritual again. Try to get the room like that, and then heat soak the motor the same. It might take me 3 sessions, and let's see what the Sprint racing filter does. I'll be back. Well, here's the Sprint P08 F185 ZH2 filter. As you can see daylight right through the thing. Here's a little chart, and look at the airflow. This is the street filter, probably comparable or better than a K&N flow. Here's the one I bought, 16,000. I don't know what that is. It's not CFM. It's however they measure it. Lifetime warranty. Obviously it's a race filter. It's probably not going to stop the dirt near like the street one, but I don't care. I'm not riding this around in the desert. Let me show you how it goes in here. Yeah, this is easy. It's like a cassette. So you just take off this top panel. It's got one push pin on the top, and then 3 little Allens that go into well nuts. And then the outer panel here that has a scoop on it has a little screen. That's just screwed on 2 places. And it slides out and it locates the little screen. This is your whole intake right here. Look at this. Is this awesome? So you don't have to pull the tank and get into the airbox. There it is. So here we go. Kind of the same setup, right? Looks to me like it's going to go in just like the stock one. So, you know, look at that up in the light. And look at that. say, hey, yeah. So let me get it installed and back together, and I'll be back and we'll run it. All right, so the easiest way to put this together is the left-hand scoop cover here. So this little screen pulls out of the front of that. I've seen guys struggle a little bit on the internet. And finally, once you know how it goes, so that's how it goes. There's some little tabs it fits behind, and it slides behind this little, it goes on the back side of this tab over here. Okay, and then it doesn't really fall off, so you just push it on there. I'm going to slide this outer cover onto it like that, and it's right because it's got the right gap over here, and then on the end here, instantly your machined metal threaded grommet over here is lined up. So I get this one and just lightly snug it, then put your plastic panel on. Okay. Whoa. Okay, guys. The spin air filter is installed. It's pretty easy. Probably the easiest filter I've ever put in my life because of the design of the bike. So it was actually about a 25-30 minute job, taking my time, and I'm kind of talking about it, how to do it. So it is 3:54. The last run was at 3:12. So we're going to go through the proper series again, blah, blah, blah. You're learning the drill. So let me turn on every fan and the air fuel and everything like that. The dyno's ready. And let's start this thing up and make the first three. Here we go. Guys, those are I messed up and double clicked the button, so the second pull, which is number 18, is gone. So that probably would have been the best run, but it's a throwaway. But it doesn't matter. These are just to get everything back up to speed again. Now we got the room looking good. We got 76 degrees, 9%. I just opened the doors, turned on my wall air. Got cool air in here now, holding our temperatures. But there is the run right there, the runs. So it, yeah, 175.21, 176.04, and then a 172, almost 173. So, but that skips from the first run to the third. So the second run probably would have been 177. We'll see. We'll see. And you know, like I said, we don't know how. I know the filter, I've seen 4 horsepower, but I think that's optimal. You got to remember, it's still sucking air up here and the elevation we have. And then of course, they make more power, you know, the ram air, right? We're just sitting dead stop. So I'll let it cool down. I ended that run at 359. We're gonna wait right till about 410. Actually, my clock's off an hour. It's actually 3:10, but we're not going to say that because we got to stick to our number. So, yeah, we'll come back and make our second session. Let's look at the airfield real quick. So, yeah, it was right at 13, maybe 12.9, 13. Now it's right at 13 in a couple little spots, maybe 13.2, coming up through the middle, or up to 8 grand. And then, sure enough, it's closing off the butterflies. And they're throwing more fuel to it, but we're kind of tricking it. Before it was clear down here, geez, it was about 10.5 to 1. So now we're at about, you know, 10.8. This is 11 to 1. This is 12 to 1 rest line right here. So it did lean it out a half a click or so, you know, 1 point, which is in the right direction. All right, guys, it's 4:11. It's been 12 minutes or so. Let's turn on all the fans. Keep an air on the air fuel. I don't think you'll be able to tell any difference, but you might. Now we're making some gains. So I'm going to do one more session. We want to give it the best chance we can. So it made 178. So that was like 3 horsepower over just the slip-on alone. And that would be about 8 horsepower gain so far, approximately, with the slip-on and the filter. So I think there's a little more in the filter, but see, it made the 178, 177, 175, 46. Pretty good. And we're keeping good control of the room. We're at 75 degrees right now. It was 75.8 or something at 10%, so we're right in there. So yeah, I'll leave the camera here and we'll do one more session, see what we come up with. I ended that at 416. It's 421. I'll do it one more time at about 425 and see what happens. Okay guys, this should be the final test probably. We'll find out. It's 426 right now. All right, guys, that's it. So it didn't do quite as well. It did 177.27. That's pretty close. You see a 166, 76, 77, and 75. All right, the air fuel. Squeak, squeak. The air fuel kind of cleaned up on the bottom. It's about a 11.5 on 2 of the runs. So it likes the filter. So let me, sorry for this thing making noise, but I have no choice. All right, loosen it here. There we go. Let me get rid of the air fuel now real quick. And let's go back. Let's get rid of these runs. And we're going to put up run number 6, which was the best with the bike bone stock. Had to earn it. And then we're going to put up number 14. That's the best pull with just the slip-on. Okay, other changes. And then I believe 21 is the 178. Come on, baby. Be stubborn. Yeah, there you go. So, there you go. We have our test done, and it's about as accurate as Dale can do. Again, here's our conditions. Down to 8%, but that's when it sits here and cools down. It's staying about 10% when I turn off the dyno, but 75.6 degrees. So yeah, we kept it between, 75 to 77.8 degrees, and we did our proper cool downs, like I'm saying. So there's our number difference. So we got 8 beans from the stock muffler. That's pretty good. Nothing done. So I think what I'm going to do, one time, poor thing, I'm going to put it in 6th gear. I'm going to run it all the way till it taps the rev limit, and let's see how fast it goes. I'm only going to do this once. All right, let's do that. All right, I thought it'd be fun just to zoom in on the tack and the speed. So you can watch it digitally too. So you turn on all the fans, and poor Mr. Gray is gonna be screaming and take a long time. You watch when it gets up here to be finally. Closes off to 12% the throttle blades, up around 11.5. Something. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up. I think Mr. Gray earned his rest. Anyway, you saw it tapped 180, took forever, then finally, and the throttle blades are at 12%, took forever. And then I let off, pulled the clutch in to let the motor have a rest, and I used the eddy current brake to slow it down. It didn't like it. The
the computer aborted. Emergency, emergency, Will Robinson. But at least it, I didn't get a graph, which who cares, but it didn't take away the monitor screen showing the speed and the tap. So that was cool. It tapped 180. But you see what I mean? The throttle blades closed down, took forever. So anyway, I think I accomplished some good numbers. I'm happy with that for where we are. And yeah, it was very productive. We got some really good bone stock numbers without the ECU changed yet. I don't know. I'm not buying the stuff that flash ECUs. Maybe one day I will when I'm totally retired completely, but I don't want to deal with it. So I'll either, I don't know, I've talked to Brock, I've talked to Chris, I've talked to a few guys, but I've worked with Chris a few times, and he's a nice guy. We get along good, and so on. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm going to get the bike in the shop, the other shop, and put on a integrated tail light next, take the ugly back end off, and I'll pull out the swing arm I bought. I bought a pretty cherry swing arm off a wrecked bike, and start looking into swing arm extensions. That'll be the next thing, because I don't really want to do the ECU probably until I put a front header on it. And I'm either going to cut the collector off this one and build my own new collector and make it just a one-off, but I think it's still real heavy, so we'll see. But for now, I'm going to go. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, regardless, please comment below. I got a little channel, you know, I just do this stuff once in a while. Subscribe, give me a thumbs up, all that stuff matters. Please do that, appreciate it, and we'll come back for more. But for now, you guys take care and have a good one and ride safe.